We're back, boys. What's going on? Ordinary here, episode 8 of the GM series with Florida Panthers. And in episode 7, we got off to a great start on year 2. Just flying through the season, doing great. Just piling up the wins, all 10 of them. And we got to the All-Star break, and I said last week that this week we're going to get to the trade deadline and try to get through the trade deadline. In the comments, I've been told to go after either Chris Kreider and or Sven Barchizi from the Flames. One or the other I think might be a good addition, although we are pretty set for wingers up front. But I was thinking if we do get Barchi, he's left winger, Shinkrook's left winger, and we could send him down so he has better development, because as we checked the stats last week, he's doing just abysmal. He's a dismal player on that first line. If you look on the team leaders there, our best plus minus is minus 17, and that is something else. So when we get to the trade deadline, we'll take a look at his trade value and go from there. I don't think we'll go for Chris Kreider just because we have a bunch of players that will fill the role that he provides for us, that he would provide for us if we were to get him on our team. He'd be that second line winger, maybe a third line winger. He probably wouldn't crack our first line. We do have some good depth prospects from the first season and the draft, and how we've been attempting to spearhead this rebuild. So I don't think I think he's a 4-star, and he tops out around low 80s, maybe like 83, 84 maybe. So I don't think we really have a spot on him for our team. It's saying to scout D. I don't know. Who do we scout? We're gonna get the first pick, and I don't remember what we did last week. So let's go into the scouting report and check who's touted right now. Who's going first? Hosang, it says, is going first. I know Ekblad gets quite good. Robinson Osgood is looking sharp. Reggie Boys. Yeah, boy. There's a 4-star green. Okay, let's look at forwards in the U.S. and check this guy out. Have we scouted forwards in the U.S. yet? No. Okay, so that's what we'll do. U.S. forwards, we're scouting them up. That'll take us quite a while. There's only 17 prospects, and we're spending entire 6 weeks, so hopefully we get a good read on that guy, and we don't have to go back there. Oh, we've already got 2 wins this episode. Nice. We're only losing games by 1 goal here. This is unreal. Our team's just stepping it up. We're trying to fight our way out of that last round spot in the league. Look at that, another big win. Oh, just killing it. I think the Panthers might make a cup push here in 13-14. Season's not over. We could pull it back, turn it around, win every game for the rest of the year. Sneak in 8th and just upset. Oh, I see it now. Maybe at the deadline we sell all our players and just get sell all our prospects for some seasoned vets and just win that cup. Yeah, I'm doing it. Just kidding. So actually, you know what I think? Now that I think about it, I'm gonna. I know we only have 1 or 2 phones on this GM, so I'm gonna sim up to the day before the deadline instead, and that way I can take a look and try to make some trades before we actually get in there, because you never know what's gonna happen. Maybe they want to give up Barchi or Kreider, even though I'm not too big on Kreider, but we'll see. I'll check out his stats. What I'd like to do is assemble a really good third line. And probably not this season though, just because this is more like something I want to do as our team is actually a contender, and we can get some established guys rather than getting more prospects. But what I want to do is get a bunch of third liners that are like maybe like 81s, 82s, but they have just crazy defensive awareness of like low 90s, and just make an entire line of them. And we'll have a unreal penalty kill, and it'll just be great. It'll just be great. So GM options, we're gonna go check out some trades pretty quick. See if there's they don't want to give him away, which makes sense because I'd imagine that in year 2 the Flames are still pretty shitty and not really down to give up their best prospect, but he has the highest trade value on their team. He's a 79, I believe. Yeah, there he is. Third line, 4.5 stars. Looking good, looking good. A little shit-eating grin on his face. We'll check out Kreider just to say I did. Down here, there he is. 4 stars. He's already a second liner. It's probably low 80s, yeah. So maybe I was wrong about him. Maybe he does get a little bit better, but we already have a 4-star left winger in Quentin Howden, I believe. So there's not a big point in us going after him. Okay, so let's not try to make that trade for Barchi just yet because they don't want to give him away, and it's not the actual deadline, so it's unlikely that it will go through. But let's see, like just cap space and stuff. So they have a ton of cap room. We have a ton of cap room, so that's not going to be an issue. Players that they want from us, pretty much everybody, seeing as our team is a team full of rebuilders as well. We got a ton of prospects. Huh. So it's going to be a tricky trade. If we look at the trade values here, he's a little bit more than 1/3. So, and they don't want to give him away, so that takes him up to probably just over half the bar is what we're going to have to fill to get a trade for him. Just a confusing time for us here, boys. So if I sort what they want through trade value, actually I'll just sort everyone by trade value. I'm surprised they don't want Kulikov. But anyways, Huberdeau, I bet you Huberdeau straight up it wouldn't work. I bet you it wouldn't go through. I'm not going to try it because that would be stupid, but I bet you it needs to fill up more than that. So it would be maybe one of our good defensemen as well as one of our winger prospects that we could replace with Sven Barchi. So what do we have for wingers? Left wingers. Shinkaruk, we're not trading, and Howden, we might have to trade to get this trade to go through. But what I'd like to do is get Shinkaruk back down in the minors for the rest of the season or the CHL, just so he can progress better. And if we trade Quentin Howden, then we don't have a second line prospect in the NHL. So maybe I don't want to trade him because he'll get good enough to be on the second line. Now that we're getting Barchi, if we do get him, it's more likely that he'll be on the third line. But a good player is a good player, right? You don't fucking want to keep as many prospects as you can and see which ones pan out the best. So let's stop pissing around in here. We'll go to the actual deadline where I can actually offer a trade. Otherwise, our prospect pool is pretty deep as it is. We're going to add someone amazing at the draft, or maybe we trade that pick away for someone who's a little bit more NHL ready. But I'm thinking if we do the scouting properly we'll be able to pick our own prospect that is close to being NHL ready. Because after this season, the year 3 is going to be in betweener for us. I'm not sure how it's going to pan out. So we only have one phone. But by year 4, I definitely want to be doing something right and definitely making the playoffs. We'll see if we're making a cup push in year 4, but that's the goal. Why am I on fucking Anaheim? Here we go. Archie. There he is. Left wingers looking good. What do we have for right wingers? So I don't think we're going to use Bud Holloway if I remember. Yeah, so we'll toss him in there. Where is he? I hate when you go to view someone's details, it boots you out. So Tyrati and Nyquist are 1 and 2, right? I believe, yeah. And then we had this guy down here, Pulkkinen, who could also fight for that second line spot, even though he's only a 3.5 star. Apparently he's quite good. So the Shaw guy we're not going to use either, I bet. Take a look at him. Yeah, he doesn't have a spot on our team, so there's 2. And I wonder if the trade won't go through because we're not taking on enough salary. So let's see who they're giving away and see if there's anyone with just an unreal salary. 6. Oh, but his Camilleri and his thing is unreal. His trade value. Not worth going after. $2.5. Stemniak. Okay, we'll try it. Just to add it in. We're going to have to start adding either players with very low salary or unsigned players. Oh, wrong way. There we go. I was like, that's not a low salary at all. We could add this guy they want. He's got a decent trade value. Even though he's only a 2.5 star prospect. Unsigned. That's looking good. So it's definitely not going to be enough to get this trade to go through. What do we have for defense? I know we don't have the best NHL ready defense, but we might be good for prospects to trade some away. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 4-star or better. So maybe we can toss one of these guys in. Whatever one has the better trade value, maybe. I don't want to trade Kulikov or Pouliot. Maybe it's Nurse just because he has the low salary and the high trade value. Even though I'm pretty sure he gets up to like 88. So this could come back to bite us in the ass. But we have more. This Petrovic guy, I don't know who he is. I'm going to put him in. Doesn't make sense because why would we trade him when there's... I'm pretty sure there's 3.5 defense there. This guy with a higher trade value. Ah, but the salary. It's that salary because he's one of our players that we're using to reach the salary floor there. But it's pretty much the same as Kobe Roback, and I've been wanting to get rid of this guy forever with the bad hair. We'll put him in there. And do they want any of our draft picks for like round? Oh, we already traded away our second, didn't we? And I don't think they want... Oh, they do want this one. Okay, we'll give them our first in there. We can get it back later if we need to. We're going to have to add a player just because they're probably at salary or at roster cap. So where's players given away? There we go. Lowest trade value is Steve Bejin. We'll take him. Actually, it'll take B Street. So what are we offering? That first doesn't have that high of a trade value. As you go down the list, it looks like they have better trade values, but they actually shrink. I've noticed. And then a bunch of players that I'm gonna call them scraps. We got a bunch of scraps on here. That's Stempniak, and we might be able to cancel these 2 out. So it's like salary for salary, which is stupid because if I took him off and him off, we could add someone else that's not Bud. What if I do this? Let's just see. Okay, that still goes through, so that's good. We'll try this instead, maybe. That'll make the trade easier. Originally, I was thinking it was we didn't have enough salary, but then I thought it's just players. So who's our lowest trade value on here? It's Bud. Okay, so Bud covers these two guys, and then it's Shaw, Merkley, Roback, and a first in the future for Barshi. And I don't know if that'll go through, just because that, and that add up to his trade value, but they don't want to give him away. So then it's this first to try and take it over the edge. I'm gonna see if we can't find someone better than Bud to trade away for a forward that we're not gonna use. Are we ever gonna use Eunice? I mean, he's got a fantastic name, but his trade value, it's barely different now. If we're gonna, it would have to be one of these two guys or on left wing. We don't have anyone, so I guess we'll try to get this to go through. I'm not expecting it to work. If it does, hallelujah. If not, we'll come back next hour and give it a go. They've totally unwilling to give him up. We've sent multiple players to fill the need. They take Logan Shaw if we try again. So too many right wingers, perhaps. Can't really expect them to want to give up their best prospect. So try this again, round 2, boys. Calgary, there they be. Parcheesi, toss them in. So we're gonna have to up the ante a little bit here. Where's the shitty players they don't want? 1 and 2. Players they do want. Trade value up. Okay, so let's just go through trade value of players matching block. And we'll start off with the players that don't have contracts because we can just toss them in for free and that's good. Merkley was one of them. And then these two guys don't have a good enough. There's no point. Okay. So we got Merkley in there. Let's put that first round pick in there again. I don't want to do next year's pick just because I don't know how that season's going to go yet. Our prospects could not progress as much as I want them to, and then we're out of another top 5 pick or something. But by year 4, if we're still top 5 picks, then I'm doing something wrong. So we're not going to trade away Kulikov. Or no, we're not even in what they want. There we are. So Huberdeau, no. Pulio, no. Nyquist, no. This could be a player we could part with. Our third line center of the future. Because Drew Shore is going to take that second line, I'm pretty sure. Between Drew Shore and Nick Bugstad, I'm not sure which one is the safer bet to keep on the team. Drew Shore's 23, Bugstad is, I think he's 21, so maybe we don't trade him. They're both 3.5 stars. I don't know. It's a tricky one for us. We have our first line center for sure in Huberdeau. One of these two guys is definitely our second line center. As it is now, one of these guys is going to be our third line center, and then we got Zach Hamill to fill it on the fourth. However, when they have a trade value that's decent like this, we might have to look into trading one of them just so we can make the trade go through. I'm going to go with keeping Bugstad because he's younger, and what is he, 3 points below on the overall? So he's 79, Drew Shore's 79, and where's Bugstad? 76. Yes, he's only 3 points below, and he's still got 2 years to catch up. So I'm gonna go with Bugstad's the better player. So we'll toss Shore in there. That right winger they wanted, his name was Logan Shaw, I believe it said in the failed trade. Yeah, here he is. So toss him in then. Shaw. Okay, and we got one more spot. Let's give him a defense because They don't like when we send them multiple players to fill a need, and we're already sending them 3 forwards. Do they want any of our goalies, by the way? I didn't check that last time, and I should have. Who's Bartasak? Did we draft him? We drafted him last year. 3.5-star goalie. Don't need him. He's a good trading chip for us. Let's throw him in. But his trade value is not really that good. It's either him or a defense. And I think we might be able to get more trade value out of a defense. Kobe Roback. He's down there. Yeah, let's go for it. I mean, this is almost an identical trade, except we've taken away one of our lower, I think Bud. We took Bud out and replaced him with Drew Shore. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same trade, so it's pretty much not going to work. Do we waste this phone and just hope that it works, or do we try to sweeten it up before we go for anything? I don't know. This is one of them times, boys. One of them times. Yeah, let's execute it. There we go. Nailed it. So we didn't have to overextend. We got the player that you guys wanted me to pick up. Put him on. I think we'll put him on the first line right now. And hang up all these phones. Don't give a fuck. We'll put him on that. Put him on that first line. We'll send Shinkruk back down to the minors. I think he has to go to the CHL because he's a wee little lad. Hopefully, we didn't fuck with his development by keeping him up half the year, but we'll see what happens. We're like the only trade. Look at that. We were like the only trade. They sent down a guy so they could play Kobe Roback. That's hilarious. Or maybe that's not why they did it, but I'd like to imagine it is. Good riddance, you and your horrible haircut. Sick of it. He had to go. He had to go. Had to be done. So roster moves. Let's see if we can't. Hopefully we can pull. Or he should be on the team, shouldn't he? Where's Barcheesy? He'd be at the top. Or am I going down? There he is. Yeah, he's at the very top. Okay, so he's already on the team. Don't have to do any roster moves to get him in here. Put him on. For some reason, it's like auto best teams. Oh, because I traded the guy who was there before. We need a center prospect. We got Lindbergh. Where's Hamill? There he is. Hamill's going to go third line. We can't have Barchi on the... Okay, we'll go to roster moves first, and then we can figure it out. So, left wingers, where are you? Shinkrook's going down. Yes, have to send him to the juniors. Okay. So we got Yager on the 4th, Nyquist on the 1st, Pulkkinen on the 3rd, Rowdy on the 2nd, and that's it. Left wingers, we're shy one left winger, and we're not even using Bejin, so maybe we do. Centerman, where are centermen? We got Bugstad on the 2nd line, Hamill on the 3rd, Hebert on the 1st, Lindbergh on the 4th, Ben Street, don't recognize him, and Vincent Trocheck. So let's look for where Street and Trocheck are. Street is nowhere. Trocheck is right here. So we're going to replace Barchi on the 3rd, on the down here with Street, wherever he is. There he is. And we got he's a 68 centerman, so maybe we put him in the center instead of Lindbergh. I don't know why we didn't have that before. Maybe he's not a prospect for us. Yeah, he's not a prospect for us, that's why. But that's okay. We knew we were giving up to try and get that player, and we got him. Kulikov, Goodbranson, Brennan, Pouliot, Nurse, and Morrissey. It's looking fine. I bet you Morrissey and Nurse are having a hell of a time in the NHL as well. Probably a mistake to bring them up right after the draft as well. Same thing I did with Shinkruk, but it's a risk. You got to risk it to get the biscuit, and I don't think it was a successful gamble, but We'll see at the end of the. What the fuck? Manually edit my dick. Unfilled down here, 4-on-4 line. We got Huberdeau, Nyquist, Bugstad, and we're gonna put Barchese in there. Anywhere else? Anywhere else? Looking fantastic. All filled up. B to get out of here. Video's been going for about 25 minutes, so that's a long enough one. Let's see. Let's see how we can do. Let's sim another 3 games here, just to see if we're starting taking home a bunch of victories. Oh yeah, nice 2-3 was that OTL. Might have been. Oh, a big shutout win. Look at that. See, I told you that was a trade we needed to do. We're gonna storm to first in the East, and it's gonna be a hell of a time. Okay, so it's looking like bottom of the league again. Let's take a look. Florida with 41 points. Second place is 59 points. So we're looking at top 2 pick for sure. We can take a look at our scouting of that Osgood fellow from the 2-way or power forward, whatever he was, from the States. 4.5 stars. He's down to 3.5 stars. So good thing we didn't waste a pick on him. 2 scouting visits. He's looking like a below average player that we're not going to want to draft. I know Hosang has tons of potential in this game, but his stats as they are very low, and he takes a long time to develop. So we're not going to draft him. Sam Reinhart is maybe who we take. I know he doesn't take long to get NHL ready, a season or 2. I'm not sure about Ekblad. It says we only have 1 top 5 projected. Maybe that's just because we haven't done enough scouting. As for goalies, yeah, none of these are top 5 either. So, you know what I'm gonna do actually before I end this video? We're gonna take a look at the stats because we did sim quite a bit. All-star break to pass the trade deadline, and B Street with the +1. So we got a new leader for the plus-minus category. Shinkrook had to go. Points. So Huberdeau still killing it, nearly a point per game in his sophomore season. I don't know. Kulikov's not a sophomore. He's been in the league for a while now. But our second best point scoring player is a defenseman, Nyquist and Barchi. Now that we have a decent first line, 4 of our top 4 players are in our top 5. Howden on the second line doing well. Rowdy on the second line. I guess they're not doing well, but doing as could be expected from players who are in their low 70s, high 60s playing on the second line in the NHL. They're not doing bad. Brennan. Who do I have on the first line with Kulikov? Goodbranson, right? Where is he? Oh, right here. Look at that. Tons of penalty minutes. Got to keep him in check, I guess. Maybe he's a trading asset, even though I like him and I would like him on my team on the Canucks in real life. Would be a stellar pickup, but maybe in this game he's just not. That 66 discipline's killing us. If we look at Morrissey, 80 discipline, no penalty minutes. Street, I guess he hasn't had enough games, but Yager, 76. These guys are all. Shinkrook had 4 penalty minutes, 85 discipline. He was on the first line. So that's something we should. I like something like that. That's good. That's good. Such a lack of PIMs. Anyways, thanks for watching the video, boys. If you like it, be sure to actually like it. If you want to see more of this series or other series that I have on my channel, feel free to subscribe. It means a lot to me, and it helps me get out there. And I'm thinking if I can get enough views on these videos, I can start uploading them more than once a week, and that would be something I want to do. But right now, I have to space them out just so I can get some feedback on what I want to do, because I'm not getting instant feedback, and when I do, it's not from a varying source of people. I like to accompany more than 1 or 2 people's decisions per video. So the more comments I can grab, the sooner more videos will be coming out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.